The American Heart Association recently released data that should stop you in your tracks. More than 50% of adults over 65 are walking around with a stroke risk that is 3 times higher than the general population. The most shocking part, they're facing this elevated danger simply because they routinely ignore one specific habit every morning. Disclaimer, the information in this video is for educational purposes only and should never replace the professional medical diagnosis of your doctor. The illusion of health. You eat your green salads, check sodium labels at the grocery store. Take a leisurely stroll around your suburban neighborhood and look in the mirror, telling yourself you are doing incredibly well for your age. Do not celebrate just yet. Imagine the plumbing system of a classic American home every day. The main water line is pumped with a massively overpowering surge of pressure.
If you stand in the hallway, everything seems perfectly fine. The drywall is intact and no visible leaks exist.
But deep inside, the copper pipes are sustaining microscopic stress fractures. They are cracking day after day. That is precisely how high blood pressure, the silent killer, is methodically tearing down your cardiovascular system.
If you are over 60 years old, this is the video you absolutely must sit down and watch. Today, we expose 4 subtle warning signs that 90% of us mistakenly write off as just getting older. Pay special attention to warning sign number 3, which will make you want to walk into your bathroom and look in the mirror immediately. And the first sign, it strikes the very second you open your eyes. Sign 1, the morning surge. You wake up, stretch, and notice your neck feels stiff, accompanied by a dull ache. Naturally, you blame your mattress or memory foam pillow. You quickly swallow a painkiller and head to the kitchen to brew a dark roast coffee to clear the fog. Pause right there. We call this the morning surge. The moment you wake up, your body automatically pumps out stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to shock your organs into gear. If your blood vessels are weakened by plaque, this sudden rush of arterial pressure is exactly like trying to overinflate a thinning balloon. The pressure rebounds, squeezing the delicate vessels inside your skull, causing that stiff neck. Think of a retired gentleman who kept his routine of sitting by a sunlit bay window, sipping black coffee and reading the newspaper. He brushed off those early morning headaches, convinced it was arthritis. He ignored it until one morning when everything suddenly went pitch black in his living room. His blood pressure skyrocketed to 180, and he barely escaped a stroke. The fix? To protect yourself. Change your routine. Starting tomorrow, instead of rushing for coffee, which aggressively constricts your blood vessels, pour yourself a glass of warm water infused with a slice of fresh lemon. Sipping warm water gently expands your blood vessels. After that, sit down and use a reliable home cuff to check your blood pressure. Writing that number down in a journal is infinitely more protective than any painkiller. Unstable blood pressure at dawn will trigger a highly disorienting reaction when you move. Sign 2, sudden dizziness and brain fog. This brings us to sudden dizziness and brain fog. You are relaxing in your favorite recliner, watching the evening news. You remember to check the oven, so you stand up. Out of nowhere, the room tilts violently. The floor drops beneath you. Your vision swims, and your mind goes blank for a few terrifying seconds. You mutter, "I guess I'm just getting old." Do not make that assumption. When your blood pressure is chronically elevated, your heart pumps with exhausting force. However, the tiny vessels delivering oxygen to your brain are likely damaged and narrowed, like a garden hose, violently kinked at the nozzle. When you change posture, gravity pulls your blood downward, and your compromised vascular system cannot adapt fast enough to push it back up. Your brain is starving for oxygen. Consider a grandmother pruning her rose bushes. She stood up to wave at her neighbor walking a golden retriever and suddenly forgot the neighbor's name. The world spun so wildly she gripped her wooden fence to keep from collapsing. Shortly after, her dismissal of these dizzy spells resulted in a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke. The fix: when you experience this room-spinning sensation, do not try to push through it. Find a sturdy surface, sit right back down, and initiate the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 7 seconds to allow fresh oxygen to saturate your bloodstream. Exhale slowly through your lips for 8 seconds. Do this 3 times. This calms your nervous system and allows oxygen-rich blood to surge back into your brain. Look into a mirror, because the next sign is on your face. Sign 3: blurry vision and red spots. This sign manifests as blurry vision and unexplained red spots in your eyes. You are sitting at the kitchen table, squinting fiercely to read the small print on your prescription medication bottle. You rub your temples and tell yourself, it is time to visit the optometrist for a stronger pair of bifocal reading glasses.
Hold off on changing your prescription. The human eye is a biological marvel. It is the only transparent window allowing a doctor to look directly at your living vascular system.
When your arterial pressure remains dangerously high, the microscopic capillaries feeding your retinas are subjected to immense stress. Eventually, they crack. Those fuzzy spots or red patches are actually tiny, active internal hemorrhages bleeding inside your eyeball. We knew an elderly woman who loved knitting sweaters and reading classic novels by a crackling fireplace. She constantly took off her glasses to wipe them. Frustrated, her vision was distorted. Thankfully, she went for a dilated eye exam. The doctor looked at her retinas and realized the glasses were fine. The real culprit was severely unmanaged high blood pressure destroying her vision. The fix, alongside scheduling an eye exam, incorporate a daily blood vessel relaxing ritual every afternoon. Steep 1 tablespoon of dried hibiscus flowers in hot water for 5 minutes. Stir in raw honey. The natural antioxidants in this bright red tea act exactly like premium lubricating oil for your circulatory system, helping stiff blood vessels become wonderfully elastic again. Please hit the like button and save this video to remember this recipe. However, expanding your blood vessels is not enough if your main engine is running out of horsepower. Sign 4: unexplained shortness of breath. This is unexplained shortness of breath. You are taking your usual stroll up your slightly inclined driveway or walking to the neighborhood mailbox. Suddenly, you are forced to stop. You lean against the brick wall, your heart hammering against your ribs, gasping for air. You brush it off, assuming you have been inactive lately and your stamina has naturally faded with age. That is not a loss of stamina. It is a desperate distress signal from a failing heart. When your body's pipelines are narrowed by high blood pressure, the main pump works in overdrive. Over months, your heart muscle becomes abnormally thick, stiff, and fundamentally weak. It loses its ability to push blood forward, causing fluid to drastically back up into your lungs. You cannot catch your breath because your lungs are slowly becoming waterlogged. Think of an older gentleman who took pride in walking 3 blocks to the bakery every morning. When that short walk suddenly transformed into an agonizing, breathless chore, he simply gave up the habit. A few weeks later, he was rushed to the emergency room, suffering from acute congestive heart failure. The fix: never negotiate with unexplained fatigue. If a routine household activity you could easily do 6 months ago suddenly leaves you exhausted, take action. Buy a notebook and start a physical fitness diary. Every evening, Write down your step count and exactly how your chest felt when walking up your front porch steps. These handwritten notes are the ultimate roadmap you must hand to your cardiologist.
The results are promising. I'm confident we're on the right path.
Stiff morning headache, the terrifying brain fog. When you stand up, you're fading or spotty vision, or those sudden heavy gasps for air. This is your body desperately communicating with you before the internal damage becomes irreversible. To help you continue this vital journey of protecting your heart, our video next week will reveal 5 common, delicious foods hiding in your pantry that naturally lower your blood pressure without extra prescriptions. You will not want to miss it. Goodbye, and have a safe, healthy evening.